You know what I really wanted to get rid of? During the awakening process, when your senses, the restoration of the pineal function, when your senses are starting to heighten, when you're starting to gain access to the spirit realm, when you're starting to see things, when you're starting to understand, when you're starting to get those telepathic communications, for a little while there, it does feel like you're paranoid, like everything, like you're being watched. But really, that's perception. It's your own perception. You're seeing, so you feel like you're being watched. The fact is, you are. Once you see the spirit realm sees you. But what's been happening is that many individuals have been going on, we'll call them little quests, to warp awakening minds into the darkness. That's what they do. That's what they feed on. That's what they do. They manifest off of others by spiritually attacking them during the awakening process, and then they convince everybody they're crazy. They convince everybody they're a waste of space, and then they use them for everything they can and sacrifice them. They get them written off. They during my smear campaign, they labeled me as crazy. They labeled me as psychologically unfit. They labeled me as all sort of things online while all of this spiritual warfare and these spiritual attacks were happening, and they continued to try to infect my mind with their nonsense and turn me into their plaything. That's what crappy people do. They're crappy. They cannot produce for themselves because they never did any internal work, so they harvest from others. So when you hear words like harvesting, and when you hear words like witchcraft and manifestation off of other people and all of these things that are really, this is really going on. They convince you you're crazy and use you to do things for them, especially if you're intelligent and productive. They influence your thoughts. And neuroscience has found out what the pineal function of the brain is actually makes us capable of doing. Psychic gifts and abilities, connectivity, connection to source, connection to others is all a reality for all human beings on the planet. When these beings come online, there's this group that just cannot stop attacking them. Cannot stop. So they can do very, very little and eat off of everybody else's hard work. This is modern day slavery. And they get you early. They tried that crap with me. There was a smear campaign about me online. That was not just talk. They were also sending energies. They were also sending psychic attacks the entire time. And I still stand here and I built the collective anyways. And then, at the earliest opportunity, I cleansed it and got rid of them all. I sent them all into hiding. I put them all underground. There's another part you need to know. The CIA has been experimenting with black magic and learning how to weaponize it for quite some time. So, in a sense, I also know who was connected in my initial attacks in the first place. That's just for some of you. So let it be known. Let it be widely known. I know who you are. God knows who you are. And everybody in the world now knows what you're about and what you did. I'm not sorry for speaking my truth. I'm not sorry. And I'm going to keep doing so at every opportunity. Because I should have never had to suffer, and neither should any of your other victims. Thing is, you got the one that doesn't have victim mentality. You got the one that understood the entire time, and you got the one that used themselves as bait and let it happen until it was time to strike back. You got the wrong one. And I'm not just doing it for me, I'm doing it for everybody else you treated this way. Nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves to be a slave. Nobody deserves to be a sacrifice. So, you can take your anger and you should feel sorry for me and all that crap out the door. I don't feel sorry for the karma you're getting right now. Your entire group. I don't care. I don't care. You suck. You deserve it. You willingly signed on to be a part of something greater that was for the detriment of the whole human race. You are single-handedly, your groups, responsible for the lack of evolution of humanity. And you think God's just going to let that slide? I let him use me as a mouthpiece. I speak out about this. And they have proof that it all exists. So there's no denying what a crappy person you are, what crappy people you are. There's no denying it. None. There's no denying it that you all suck and that you gotta go. Stay gone. That's where you deserve to be. I don't need your apologies. I'm not talking to you people anymore. Not at all. You got shut down and shut out due to your own actions. You don't get to play the victim and say it's my fault for speaking out against it. You don't get to play the victim. Ever. So, now that we've had this pleasant little conversation, just know, the weaker you get, the better it is for everybody else. It's a good thing you're falling down.